player and team. Todd McShay, you first.
I'm going to go with the Chargers with Rashawn Slater. And everyone's talking about Penei Sewell and going, he could go 5 to the Cincinnati Bengals. But Rashawn Slater, when I study him on tape, he has the best feet and is the most athletic offensive lineman in this class. I love that pick. If he falls to the Chargers, they've been looking for this kind of left tackle for a long time. I think it would be a perfect fit.
I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers going down south to Ole Miss and taking Elijah Moore. Number one, I think it brings a receiver that they can play on the inside a little bit. You know, reminding me of Randall Cobb during his time in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. 2, speed, and 3, he can work the middle of the field, something that I like to see opposite Devontae Adams. Elijah Moore to Green Bay.
How about this, Todd? Who will be the first edge rusher off the board?
It's going to be late because we have all these quarterbacks and all these wide receivers. But Kwity Paye, to me, is the best edge defender in this class. Coming out of Michigan, he wasn't utilized properly. You got to get this guy going upfield and just allow him to be explosive. He's so twitchy. You see him on tape. And the other thing that I love have this as an edge defender is you've got to have a great motor, and he loves chasing down running backs and quarterbacks. This guy is special.
I like Paye too. This is a tricky edge class because you got athletic guys like Kwity, and then you got guys with production, but you don't have a lot of guys who have both. In my mind, Jalen Phillips out of Miami fits the bill. 6'5", runs a 4.640, incredible explosion and burst. Also had 8 sacks in a single season last year at Miami. I would take him first. I understand it's going to be divisive though.
What about this, Todd? Which team most likely to trade up and draft a QB?
I'm going to go with New England, and it's only because everything I think about Bill Belichick is always the opposite of what happens. And they spent more money than anyone has ever spent in free agency in this past year, and they've never in 2 decades spent a first-round pick on a quarterback. But they need one now. And they need to develop one, and we've got 5 in the first round. We know Denver's sitting there at number 9. I think that they're the most likely. Chicago could be. There's some other teams, but they're the most likely to trade up ahead of Denver at number 9 to go get Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, whoever it is at that spot.
I like the strategy, Todd, just playing opposite day with Bill Belichick. I mean, why not? Like, that's the best way probably to figure it out what he might do. Mina, you had someone else in mind as Todd saying the Pats should trade up for a quarterback.
Yeah, Denver. And frankly, if they let New England get in front of them and grab a quarterback, that is a massive mistake. Look, we often say teams are a quarterback away from contending, but it is actually true in the Broncos case. Obviously, it's a Vic Fangio defense. We know they're good. Von Miller's back. They added Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller, who they scooped up. They're going to be good. On offense, it's a decent offensive line between Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, KJ Hamler. All they need is a guy to get them the football. So I really believe, this is obviously a team that's had a lot of failures and missteps at the quarterback position over the years, trying to get value, whether later in the draft or in free agency. That has to stop. They need to take one of these top-tier guys this draft because you don't want to miss the window on this roster.
I don't think they have to be overly aggressive to do it. I think they could be opportunistic. I have a couple thoughts on it. Like, one, how much power does their new general manager, George Patton, actually have in relation to John Elway? Because he comes over, and in his history, he's been a part of drafting 2 different quarterbacks. Most of that history was with the Vikings. 1, he was a part of the front office that reached for Christian Ponder. And then 2, he was the part of the front office that went back into the first round to trade up to go get Teddy Bridgewater, which looked like a pretty good trade till the injury, right? So how much power does he actually have? And then Vic Fangio, as their head coach, had a couple years in Chicago where they had a remarkable defense, but the athletic quarterback who couldn't ever develop held them back. And I would love to know what his input on it, because when I put all those pieces together, candidly, it makes me think that they could be a sneaky contender for Mac Jones, that he doesn't want the potential project, so to speak, or developmental player at the position. He wants a guy that can go play well right now because he doesn't want to have a really good defense, to Mina's point, good roster, and then waiting for Drew Lock to come along. Mac Jones is more advanced than Drew Lock. And so that's part of my thought process to that is Does he want to wait on Trey Lance? Because he waited on Mitchell Trubisky and it never happened. And it hurt them a little bit. Those are the two people that are really key to me with their thought process. George Patton, the new general manager, and then head coach Vic Fangio. What are their feelings on it?
Todd, what do you think?
Yeah, and listen, Patton's there for a reason because, I mean, you can put up the graphic if you want of all the quarterbacks that they've drafted, over the years. And everyone expected John Elway to always have the right quarterback because he's one of the best in the history of the NFL. But they have drafted horribly at that position. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would move up and go get the guy. Make sure you go get your quarterback is the advice I would give. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, guys, I mean, through 2 seasons for Drew Lock, just his first 2, he ranks last in completion percentage, has the 3rd highest interception rate in the league. Coming up, the Dolphins have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft. Plenty of holes on their offense. Our crew finds some potential solutions to support Tua. That's next on NFL Live. Come on.